Hi my friends, today we continue our lesson on Yokogawa CENTUM VP. As we agreed, our lesson will alternate between the practical session and theory. And today we have a short theoretical lesson dedicated some option related to project creation. So let's open our system view. And my friends, first thing I would like to show you is detail settings tab, which we found in our project properties, detail settings. And here the main project settings are defined. These settings affect the entire project, especially when changes are made in the running system. And firstly, it's manually register engineering unit symbols. If this option is enabled, like here, engineering unit must be registered manually in the engineering unit symbols builder, and we will use this editor in our future lessons. And in simple terms, this option defines where you manage your engineering unit, and you can create it manually if you want to add some engineering unit which belong to your country or your standards. And the second feature is the manually register switch position label. And if this option is enabled, switch position label must be registered in the switch position label builder. And we use this option when you assign, for example, when you assign and define some managed switch like the on-off button, auto, manual mode, and etc. And my friends, the second thing I would like to show you is the FCS creation option. Let's open FCS properties, open our project, FCS, right click and open properties. And here, my friends, domain number and station number, you are already familiar with the station and controller addressing, and you know that the station address is used to identify the station within VNet IP control network, and each FCS must have a unique address so that the system can correctly recognize and communicate with it. And the next feature is the number of control drawings. For extended and large databases, the number of control drawings can be increased up to 300, 400, or 500. And please note, and here you take one note, that it's depend of your license type. And the next one is the module-based engineering. If you enable these options, and this approach allows you to build a logic using reusable models, which is very useful in a large and very big project. And for example, imagine you have 10 identical pumps in your plant. Without the model-based engineering, you create the logic for each pump separately 10 times. And with model-based engineering, you create one pump model, start, stop, alarm, status, and with the with the start, stop, alarm, and status options, and simply reuse it 10 times. It's like the structure or array, if you're familiar with this. And the next tab is our constant tab, and here we have also some features. And the first feature is a fast scan features. It's a high-speed scan. It's allow you to configure the high-speed scan period in use when the process requires a fast response time. For example, if you control a turbine speed or the vibration signal, if you use a normal scan, for example, 500 milliseconds, the controller will check the signal only every 0.5 seconds. But if you use the fast scan, the check of the signal frequency change for 0.005 seconds, and you can change the signal frequency from fast to the low speed. And why we used it? Because vibration can suddenly increase, and when it increased, it's increased very fast. And with a slow scan, the system react too late, and you may damage your equipment. And the last one here is the options. We use it if you are using additional software package. They must be registered in FCS options settings. And here you select these options. And my friends, these options is enable enhanced version of certain function blocks, such as monitoring and control blocks and switch related blocks. We will face with this feature in our next lessons. And now, my friends, let's switch to our human interface station properties. Right click and property, and here firstly the station address, and you are already familiar with the station and controller addressing. So we go to the constant tab, and here my friends, buzzer AKID, it's mean we can use it to synchronize alarm acknowledgement between operator station, between different operator station. And if the multiply this station have the same buzzer ID, and the acknowledgement the buzzer on one station will automatically reset in the other station. And the second option is the operation group identifier. It's allow group acknowledgement of alarm in the operation guide window. And if we have the multiple station have the same identifier, alarm can be acknowledgement across those stations. And and you can use up to 8 1-bit character in the station. And here the first two characters define the ID of the station. And the rest one is defined we used for the comments. And the last, my friends, is share his help messages. When this option is enabled, one is defined as a main station that store user-defined help messages. These help messages can then be shared across all stations. And now, my friends, let's move on to privileges and security settings. So let's close this and go to common and the user security window. And here we have 3 levels of security: is S1, S2, and S3. And firstly, if it's our off users and he belongs to S1 privilege levels, and this user has the only monitoring access, it means he can view process data, alarms, and trends, but cannot perform any control actions. The second one is our own user. He also belongs to dev group. It's default group, and the user has operation and monitoring access, but he can also start and stop equipment and also make some reset to alarms. The third one is engineering users, and he belongs to default group and has privileges level S3. And this user can maintain, can change configuration and system adjustment feature. And the last one is a username with a program, and he also belongs to default groups. And this user used when you make some configuration in OPC, and it has the access for external programs. And if we say commonly, it's used when a user application or external system need to read data from Yokogawa system. And now let's move on to operation mark configuration. Let's close this one and open mark defaults. If you remember from the previous lesson, we used one of them, and let me show you on our picture. If you remember from the previous lesson, we use it here, and we when we change our logic, the label lock appear here, and you can activate of this mark from this button. It's a tuning window buttons. We made it in our previous lessons. And that's all for today, my friends. I hope I was able to explain everything clearly, and that this lesson was useful for you. Now I say goodbye to you. I wish you all good, and I wish you good health. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoy it and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next lesson.